How to start a property management business. Starting a property management business could be one of the smartest moves you make in real estate. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it is done using 4 real-world case studies that will give you a clear picture of what success actually looks like in this industry. If you are new here, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss any of our content, because we cover everything you need to know about building wealth through real estate. Now, before we get into the case studies, let me give you a quick overview of what property management actually involves and why starting a business in this space makes so much sense right now. Property management is essentially the operation, oversight, and administration of residential or commercial real estate on behalf of property owners. A property manager handles everything from finding and screening tenants, collecting rent, handling maintenance requests, dealing with evictions, managing budgets, and ensuring the property stays compliant with local laws and regulations. The landlord hands over the keys and trusts you to run everything smoothly. In return, you earn a management fee, which is typically a percentage of the monthly rent collected. And depending on your market and the services you offer, you can build an incredibly scalable business. This is not a small opportunity. The property management industry in the United States alone is worth tens of billions of dollars, and individual operators who set things up correctly can generate 6 and even 7-figure annual revenues. If you want a structured pathway to getting this right from the very beginning, I highly recommend checking out the Effective Property Management course, where you can become a member by clicking the link in the description to learn more. It covers everything you need in a step-by-step format, so you are not left guessing. Now let us get into what makes this video special, and that is the 4 case studies. These are drawn from real experiences within the property management industry, and each one highlights a different approach to launching and growing a property management business. You will notice different starting points, different challenges, and different strategies. But the common thread is that each story demonstrates something teachable and actionable that you can apply directly to your own journey. Case study 1 focuses on someone who started completely from scratch with no real estate background whatsoever. This individual had been working in corporate administration for over a decade, managing schedules, coordinating teams, and handling logistics. When they decided to leave that career, they recognized that their organizational skills were highly transferable. They got their real estate license, completed additional training in property management, and started reaching out to small landlords in their local market who were self-managing their own properties. The pitch was simple. You are spending your evenings dealing with tenant phone calls and maintenance emergencies. Let me handle that so you can enjoy your time. They started with just 3 single-family rental homes under management. The monthly revenue was modest in the beginning, but they were meticulous about documentation, tenant communication, and maintenance coordination. Within 18 months, they had grown to 42 units under management. The lesson here is powerful. You do not need to already be a real estate investor to start a property management business. What you need is organization, reliability, and the ability to communicate well with both landlords and tenants. Coming from a background of strong systems thinking gave this person an enormous advantage. Case study 2 involves someone who was already a landlord themselves and made the transition into managing properties for others as a natural extension of what they were already doing. This person had accumulated several rental properties over the years and became very good at managing them efficiently. Neighbors and acquaintances started asking them for advice. Then one of those acquaintances asked them outright if they would manage their property for a fee. That one conversation opened a door. Rather than treating it as a favor, they formalized it. They created a property management agreement, set up a separate business entity, opened a dedicated trust account for holding tenant funds, and began operating as a legitimate property management company. The key thing this case study teaches us is about the importance of professionalism from day one. By setting up proper legal and financial structures immediately, they protected themselves and their clients from the very beginning. They also leaned heavily into referrals, and within 2 years had grown to managing over 90 units without spending a single dollar on traditional advertising. Word of mouth, when you do excellent work, is an extraordinary growth engine in this business. Case study 3 is about someone who launched a property management business in a mid-sized city that was experiencing significant population growth due to a booming local economy. This person did their research first and identified that the rental market in their area had very low vacancy rates strong rental demand, and a large number of individual investors buying properties but not wanting to manage them. Armed with that market intelligence, they developed a very targeted business plan. They positioned themselves specifically as specialists for new investors and out-of-state landlords who had purchased property in the area but lived elsewhere. They offered full-service management with a heavy emphasis on digital reporting, online portals for landlords, and rapid maintenance response times. Because their target clients were often far away and anxious about their investments, the transparency and communication tools they implemented became a genuine competitive advantage. Within 3 years, they had grown to managing over 200 units and had hired a small team including a leasing coordinator and a maintenance supervisor. This case study underlines the power of niche positioning. Instead of trying to manage every type of property for every type of client, they identified a specific underserved group and built their entire service model around what that group needed most. If you want to learn how to build these kinds of competitive systems into your business from the ground up, the Effective Property Management course walks you through this entire process, and you can become a member by clicking the link in the description to learn more. Case study 4 is perhaps the most instructive for people who are thinking about starting with limited capital. This person had almost no startup budget and needed to build the business while working a part-time job to cover their living expenses. Rather than seeing this as a disadvantage, they used it as motivation to be very strategic. They focused exclusively on networking within local real estate investor groups and attending every landlord association meeting they could find. At each one, they positioned themselves as someone who genuinely cared about helping landlords succeed and offered free consultations to anyone who was struggling with a tenant issue or vacancy problem. These free consultations were not charity. They were a sales strategy built on demonstrating expertise and building trust before asking for money. Within 6 months, they had signed their first 5 management contracts. By month 10, they had enough recurring management fee income to leave the part-time job entirely. By the end of year 2, they were managing 68 units and had developed a reputation as the go-to property manager in their network. The lesson from this case study is that capital is helpful, but it is not the most important ingredient. Relationships, trust, and demonstrated competence can get you further faster than almost anything else, especially in a service business like this. Now that you have seen 4 very different paths to building a property management business, let us talk about the foundational elements that every successful property management company needs to have in place regardless of how you start. First, you need to understand the legal requirements in your area. In most states in the United States, managing property for compensation on behalf of someone else requires a real estate license. There are exceptions and variations depending on your jurisdiction, so you absolutely must verify what is required where you operate. Getting this wrong can expose you to serious liability. Second, you need to have your business structure set up correctly. This means registering your business entity, which is typically an LLC or corporation, opening a dedicated business bank account, and setting up a trust or escrow account that is completely separate from your operating funds to hold tenant security deposits and collected rent that belongs to your clients. Commingling funds is one of the fastest ways to get your license revoked and face legal consequences. Third, you need to establish your fee structure. The most common model is a percentage of monthly collected rent, which typically ranges from 6 to 12% depending on the market and the services included. Many property managers also charge leasing fees when a new tenant is placed, lease renewal fees, and fees for coordinating maintenance above a certain dollar threshold. Having clarity on your fees up front and communicating them transparently with your clients builds trust immediately. Fourth, you need your core documents ready before you take on your first client. These include your property management agreement, your lease agreement template, your move-in and move-out inspection forms, your maintenance request procedures, and your owner statement format. These documents protect both you and your clients, and they signal to prospective clients that you are a professional operation. Fifth, you need a marketing and business development strategy. The 4 case studies each use different approaches, from cold outreach to referrals to networking to niche positioning, and all of them worked. The key is consistency. Showing up regularly in the spaces where landlords and investors gather, both online and in person, and demonstrating your knowledge and reliability is how you build the pipeline of clients that sustains the business. 6, and critically, you need to think about scalability from the very beginning. Many people start a property management business, and within a couple of years, they are overwhelmed because they never built systems to support growth. Using technology to automate routine communications, maintenance tracking, rent collection, and owner reporting allows you to manage more units without proportionally increasing your workload or your staff costs. The most successful operators build their business to run efficiently even when they are not personally involved in every single task. There is also an important mindset element to discuss. Property management is a service business, but it is also a relationship business. You are going to deal with difficult tenants, frustrated landlords, unexpected maintenance crises, and situations where there is no perfect answer. Your ability to stay calm, communicate clearly, and follow through on your commitments, even when things get complicated, is what separates operators who thrive from those who burn out. The 4 case studies we looked at today all share this quality. Each person was committed to doing right by their clients and their tenants, even when it was inconvenient. That reputation became their most valuable business asset. Before we get to the end of this video, I want to remind you to please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. We put out consistent content designed to help you build real wealth through real estate, and every like and subscription genuinely helps more people discover what we are doing here. Your support means everything to this channel, and it helps us keep creating content that actually makes a difference in people's lives and businesses. So, if you are serious about building a property management business and you want to go beyond the overview we have covered today, the Effective Property Management course gives you a complete, structured, and detailed education on every aspect of this business, from setting up your legal structures and pricing your services to acquiring clients, managing properties efficiently, building your team, and scaling your revenue. It covers everything you need to go from idea to operating business. You can become a member by clicking the link in the description to learn more. Whether you are starting from zero or already managing a few properties and looking to professionalize and grow, this course will give you the tools, templates, and knowledge to move forward with confidence. The property management industry is full of opportunity, and the landlords in your market are looking for someone exactly like you to trust with their most valuable assets. Build the skills, build the systems, build the reputation, and the business will follow. Now get started